Let us assume that you own 4 acres of land, and in that land you got all types of different color stones: red, white, blue, yellow, green, black, indigo. They all look pretty, but they're worthless. And you want to create value for it. What do? Now you probably think, oh, I could probably make it into different shapes. I could probably package it in different ways. I could probably, build little castles, build little things out of them, sell them, create value. But here, let me give you the easiest way, so that we don't go nowhere. The easiest way to do it is the first thing is you call each color by its name. You call the red one ruby, the green one emerald, the blue one sapphire, the green one emerald, the white one diamond, and so on and so forth. Now you limit its quantities. Now you use them to different shapes and polish them, jewelry. Now you're a multi-gazillionaire. Now you tell me, hold it, hold it, hold it. Once you said those names, these are not worthless stones, these are treasures. Well, yeah, because the value of these stones has been engraved in your mind. It's not in the stones itself. There's mountains and mountains of them, and they're not rare nor are they precious. But that's how they've engraved it into your mind to think that they are rare and precious. Now let's take it a step further. Now, do you think in your wildest dreams, in your ingenious, that you can enslave all of humanity to your worthless stones? And you're going to say, oh, this is far-fetched, and you can't enslave humanity to worthless stones. People are smarter than that. But you can, very easily, and it has been done to us. How? By using people's intelligence and stupidity against them, their need and greed against them, relying on the intrinsic value of the human spirit, that they're all lazy and they want things the easy way. So what do? You come to people, tell them, listen, the way that you're doing this barter trade is really stupid. It don't make sense. I mean, what? You're taking 5 sheep to the market to trade them for 1 cow. You're carrying 12 bushels of corn to trade them for 8 bushels of wheat. It's cumbersome. It's stupid. You're carrying shit back and forth. Now I'm going to give you a much easier way to trade. You want the cow? Just take this precious ruby and go to the market and you can buy with it a cow. You want 1 sheep? Take this precious emerald and go to the market and you can buy with it a sheep. That way you got all your precious stones in your pocket and you can buy anything you want. And people are going to say, whoa, what a great idea. How did you come up with that? How come I didn't come up with that idea? Now, as soon as they accept that, as that is a good way to trade, what happens to your worthless stones? They become the most valuable thing on earth. Why? Now, anybody that wants a piece of that cow, a steak, is going to have this precious ruby that you own and control, and he's willing to do anything to get it. And the harder you make it for him to get it, the more that he wants it, because he's hungry. So now he's willing to work hard for it, he's willing to do anything for it. By the same token, a person that owned a cow, before you'd have to go kill him, or steal it from him, or give him 5 sheep. Now you go tell him, I give you this precious ruby as a price for your cow. What do you say? So thank you so very much. How very generous of you. May God bless you and keep you to your family. And he's holding this stupid stone in his hand as you're walking away with his cow. Yet, he thinks that he's the smart one that outsmarted you, because you don't know that he can buy 2 cows with this precious stone. And this is what happened to humanity actually 6,000 years ago. It started at a place called Acadia, which is today commonly known as Iraq and Kuwait. There used to live a king by the name of Gilgamesh, or Gilgamesh some people call him. You probably read about the Epic of Gilgamesh. He discovered in his land a shiny metal. It was beautiful shiny metal, but had no value. He told people, take it, do something with it. People say, what, this is stupid metal, you can't do nothing with it. It bends easy, it melts easy, it's malleable. It's not worth nothing. That metal is commonly known today to us as silver, but at then didn't have any value. The metals that had value were iron and tin and copper, because you mix tin and copper and you come up with bronze, and that's what people made all their tools out of, their pots, their plows, their swords, their knives, everything. But this new metal, nobody wanted it. But he was a smart dude, so what did he do? He started melting this metal and pouring it into round coins in different sizes, with his picture on one side and the picture of his mother, the half goddess, on the other side. And this is what he told the people. He says, you know, the way that you're doing this barter trade is really stupid. It don't make sense. I mean, this is uncivilized. It's savage. What, you're carrying 5 sheep to the market to trade them for 1 cow? You're carrying 12 bushels of barley to trade them for 8 bushels of wheat? It's stupid. You're taking stuff back and forth. That's for the idiots. That's for the savages. I'm going to give you the new civilized way to trade. Much easier way to trade. You want a cow? Take this precious silver coin and go to the market, and you can buy with it a cow. You want 1 sheep? Take this smaller precious silver piece and go to the market, and you can buy with it a sheep. That way you got all your precious silver coins in your pocket, and you can buy anything you want. And he started paying his ministers and soldiers with these shiny silver coins, and they're going to the market and they're buying anything they want. And of course he passed the laws that this is how you trade in my country. And that's why they called Iraq or Mesopotamia the cradle of civilization, because he's the one that introduced the concept of civilization and created the first civilization based on this monetary system, the coins. So now everybody wanted these silver coins. It became the most valuable thing on earth. He became the richest man on earth. Now he collected this worthless metal and put it in vaults, and he had guards on it. And people now weren't only selling their produce and their cows and cattle for it, they started selling their daughters and their children, and even stealing other people from other tribes and selling them in the slavery market, which became a big trade. Now, at that time, there was a man by the name of Noah who started talking to the people. So, what's wrong with you? Have you guys gotten nuts? Have you guys gone mad? How would you let a guy like this enslave you to worthless metal that you're selling your kids and your daughters to? So what? What worthless metal? What cave did you come up with? You're stupid? You don't understand? This is our living. This is how we make a living. With these coins, we buy anything we want. Get back to your cave where you came from. And he goes to Gilgamesh. He says, how dare you enslave God's beautiful children to this worthless metal? He looks at him and says, God? What God? What are you talking about? There's another God besides me? He says, yeah, man, there's a God that created you and the earth and the heavens and the trees and the animals and the humans and everything. He says, you're kidding me. Could it be possible that there would be a God that would create humans that are so freaking dumb that you can enslave them to worthless metal? Get out of town. So he built the Tower of Babel, and he used to go up at night in the dark night and shoot arrows in the dark night because he wanted to kill that God, because there was no other God besides him. He owned the people with this worthless metal. Now you all know how Gilgamesh died according to the Epic of Gilgamesh, right? I mean, a tiny little mosquito went up his nose and lodged itself in the front of his brains, and each time it shook, it would drive him crazy, and he would hit his head against the wall until he couldn't take it no more. So he ordered his guard to cut his head so that he would grow another head. a better head. And that's how it went from silver to gold to our modern day time, the worthless paper. He who owns that worthless paper or that worthless medium enslaves everybody to it. Now, this brings us back to another story, to the rise of the modern monetary system, which goes back to the 1300s. In the 1300s, the Vatican was the richest, and they had the best commodity that they were selling to everybody, which is deeds to heaven. Now, how much the deed to heaven was worth depended on how many sins you've committed, and of course, what's your net worth, how much land you owned, and how much assets you had. So you had to confess your sins. Now, if you didn't confess your sins, then they wouldn't know how much to assess you, to sell you the deed to heaven. So you had to confess. And if you're not willing to do that willingly, they started torturing people so that they confess. Now, at that time, there was a man by the name of Asner Rothschild, who was the biggest moneylender in England. And he went to the Vatican and he outsmarted them. Went to the cardinal there. He says, "I'd like to buy hell. Is hell for sale?" Now, the cardinal didn't laugh at him, kept a straight face. Says, "Well, what do you have in mind?" He says, I'm willing to pay 10,000 gold pieces as a price for hell." He says, "Well, do you have that kind of money?" He says, "Yeah." So he opens the box and shows him those 10,000 gold pieces. He says, "Well, let me consult with the cardinals and come back tomorrow. We'll have an answer for you." So no sooner does Asner leave, the cardinal walks in and starts laughing his butt out. He says, "Can you believe this? We have an idiot Jew here that's willing to pay 10,000 gold pieces for hell. What do you guys think?" So, "Well, this is the easiest money we've ever made. Would like to see him sell one deed of hell to anybody. He's an idiot." "Yeah, it's like taking candy from the kids. Sure, let's sell him hell for 10,000 gold pieces." So the next day Asner comes back. He says, "Well, that seems like a fair price. Yeah, we'll sell you hell for 10,000 gold pieces." He says, "Well, but I have my conditions. I want the deed to spell my name correctly and be authentic and state that I, Asner Rothschild, own all hell with all rights to it, that I can do with it as I please. And I want to have the papal stamp and the Pope's signature. I want it to be authentic." He says, "Well, yeah, we can manage that. We'll have it ready in like 10 days. So, "Well, that's good. Then here's 5,000 gold pieces down payment, and I'll come back in 10 days and I'll pay the rest." So he comes back in 10 days. "Is this a deed ready?" He says, "Yeah." Takes it, looks at it. The name is spelled right. It's got the papal stamp, the Pope's signature. Says, "Oh yeah, it looks authentic. It was good doing business with you." Pays them now their 5,000 and leaves. The next day, he holds what we call a press conference at the steps of the Vatican. He, come one, come all, I want everybody to know that I, Asner Rothschild, have bought hell, lock and barrel, and I own it all. Anybody can check the authenticity of the deed. I have it here. And I'd like to announce that as of today, we are closing hell. We're not taking anybody in. So you're all going to heaven automatically. You don't need to buy deeds to heaven. Folds the deed and leaves. Their sales of deeds to heaven stop. They can't even give it away. All the cardinals meet back and say, "Oh, son of a gun, he outsmarted us. What are we going to do? We need to buy hell back." Tell the cardinals to go back, meet with Asner Rothschild, and tell him that we're willing to give him a handsome profit on his investment. We need to buy hell back. So he goes and meets with Asner and says, "We're willing to give you a handsome profit on your investment." He says, "The price of hell has gone up. So what do you ask for as a price for hell? He says half the Vatican's gold. I mean, are you crazy? You know how much half the Vatican's gold is? He says, I do. But if you think about it, you'll find it to be a wise investment. Because if you buy hell, then you'll be able to sell heaven back again and make your money back in no time. But if you don't have hell, you can't sell heaven. What are you going to sell? Your money's going to run out. You're going to go bankrupt. They bought hell. And he took the money back and went back to England and established the Bank of England. And he was the banker and the financier to King Arthur. And he is the one that told him to put in the Magna Carta that all the landlords have autonomy over their land and can manage their affairs as they like politically, on the condition that they use the money of the crown. And of course the Rothschilds became the bankers to the King of Portugal, Spain, France, and of course in due time that's how the dynasty grew, and they came to the United States and of course were the owners of the Federal Reserve Bank, or 53% owners of the Federal Reserve Bank. Those people that print this worthless paper got nothing, and they lend it to you and to the government, and you're going to pay it back to them with interest. See, they are the original owners of hell.